Have you ever paused for a moment and wondered why the woman you call your wife came into your life? Was it simply a coincidence, the result of family decisions, or just another chapter written by chance? What if there is a far deeper truth hidden beneath the surface, one that most people never stop to consider? According to the timeless spiritual wisdom inspired by Paramahansa Yogananda, the most meaningful relationships in our lives are rarely accidental. Every soul we meet carries a purpose, and those who become closest to us often arrive to help shape our spiritual journey in ways we cannot immediately understand. Among all relationships, the bond between husband and wife is one of the most profound because it has the power to reveal our greatest strengths, expose our deepest fears, and awaken parts of ourselves that might otherwise remain hidden. The person standing beside you is not only your companion through life's joys and struggles but also a mirror reflecting your inner world, encouraging growth, patience, compassion, and unconditional love. Whether your marriage is filled with happiness or facing challenges, there may be a deeper lesson unfolding that extends far beyond everyday life. Perhaps every meaningful conversation, every misunderstanding, every act of kindness, and every shared moment is guiding both souls toward greater wisdom and spiritual awakening. What if the relationship you often take for granted is actually one of the greatest opportunities for inner transformation? What if your wife entered your life not only to share a home or build a family, but to help your soul evolve into the person it was always meant to become? In today's video, we will explore this fascinating spiritual perspective inspired by the teachings of Paramahansa Yogananda, uncover the hidden purpose behind marriage, and discover how understanding this divine connection can completely transform the way you see your relationship forever. Most people believe that marriage begins on the day two people exchange vows, celebrate with family, and officially become husband and wife. From a worldly perspective, that may seem true. But from a spiritual perspective inspired by the teachings of Paramahansa Yogananda, marriage is much more than a legal commitment or a social tradition. It is the meeting of two souls brought together for a higher purpose. Every significant relationship enters our lives carrying lessons that help us grow, and marriage is perhaps the most powerful of them all. Your wife is not simply someone who shares your home, your responsibilities, or your dreams. She is a fellow traveler on the journey of the soul, someone whose presence encourages you to become wiser, more compassionate, and more spiritually aware. Throughout life, she may celebrate your victories, support you during your struggles, and gently reveal qualities within you that you never noticed before. Sometimes those qualities are beautiful, and sometimes they are the very weaknesses that need healing. This is why marriage often becomes one of life's greatest classrooms. It teaches patience when circumstances become difficult, forgiveness when misunderstandings arise, humility when pride stands in the way, and unconditional love when it feels easier to walk away. Every joyful memory and every challenging moment has the potential to deepen your understanding of yourself and of the divine presence working quietly through your life. Instead of seeing marriage as merely two people building a future together, imagine it as two souls helping each other move closer to inner peace and spiritual awakening. When you begin to view your relationship through this higher lens, ordinary moments take on extraordinary meaning, and even life's greatest challenges become opportunities to grow in love, wisdom, and understanding. One of the most profound spiritual principles that Paramahansa Yogananda often spoke about is the law of karma. Yet karma is frequently misunderstood. Many people think of it as a system of reward and punishment, believing that good actions automatically bring happiness while mistakes inevitably bring suffering. But Yogananda explained karma in a much deeper way. Karma is not about punishment, it is about learning. It is the universe's compassionate way of helping every soul grow in wisdom, love, and spiritual awareness. Every thought you think, every word you speak, and every action you take leaves an impression on your consciousness. Over time, these impressions shape your character, influence your relationships, and affect the experiences that unfold in your life. This is why our closest relationships often become the greatest teachers. When two people share their lives together, they naturally bring different personalities, habits, expectations, and emotional patterns into the relationship. Moments of joy reveal the beauty of love, while moments of conflict reveal the areas where healing is still needed. Instead of asking, "Why is my partner behaving this way?" a spiritual seeker learns to ask, "What is this situation trying to teach me about myself?" That single shift in perspective can transform frustration into self-discovery. Every disagreement becomes an opportunity to practice patience. Every misunderstanding becomes a chance to communicate with greater kindness. Every challenge becomes an invitation to replace pride with humility and judgment with compassion. This does not mean accepting unhealthy behavior or remaining silent in the face of injustice. Rather, it means recognizing that every experience carries the potential for growth when approached with wisdom and love. According to Yogananda's teachings, the purpose of karma is not to keep us trapped in suffering but to awaken us to a higher level of consciousness. When we respond with awareness instead of reaction, with forgiveness instead of resentment, and with love instead of fear, we begin to transform not only our relationships but also the direction of our own spiritual journey. Many people spend years searching for wisdom in sacred books, spiritual retreats, or the guidance of enlightened teachers, believing that the greatest lessons can only be found in distant places. Yet Paramahansa Yogananda reminded us that life itself is our greatest teacher, and often the people closest to us become the instruments through which the divine helps us grow. If you are married, your wife may be one of the most important spiritual teachers you will ever have. She sees the side of you that the rest of the world rarely notices. She witnesses your moments of confidence and your moments of doubt. She celebrates your successes, comforts you during your failures, and quietly observes the habits, emotions, and patterns that shape your daily life. Because of this closeness, she naturally reflects parts of your personality that you may not even recognize in yourself. Sometimes she reflects your kindness and generosity, reminding you of the love you are capable of giving. At other times, she reveals your impatience, pride, fear, or insecurity, not to criticize you, but to offer an opportunity for deeper self-awareness. This is why moments of disagreement, disappointment, or misunderstanding should not always be viewed as signs that something is wrong. Instead, they can become invitations to pause, reflect, and ask what lesson your soul is being encouraged to learn. Growth rarely happens when everything is comfortable. It is often born through honest conversations, difficult emotions, and the willingness to look within rather than placing blame on another person. A spiritually mature relationship is not one in which two people never disagree. It is one in which both partners choose understanding over ego, compassion over judgment, and growth over resentment. When you begin to see your wife not merely as a companion but as someone who helps reveal your highest potential, every challenge becomes an opportunity to become calmer, wiser, and more loving. In that moment, marriage is transformed from an ordinary relationship into a sacred path of inner awakening. One of the greatest misunderstandings about love is the belief that it is only an emotion. Many people think that love is something we simply feel when life is easy, when everything is going well, and when both partners always agree with each other. But Paramahansa Yogananda taught that true love is much deeper than a passing feeling. It is a conscious choice that we make every single day. Feelings may rise and fall like the waves of the ocean, but genuine love remains steady because it is rooted in the soul rather than in changing emotions. Real love is revealed in the small decisions we make when no one is watching. It is choosing patience when frustration begins to grow. It is choosing gentle words instead of harsh criticism during a disagreement. It is listening with an open heart instead of preparing the next argument. It is offering understanding before expecting to be understood. These simple choices may appear ordinary, but spiritually they carry tremendous power. Every act of kindness, every sincere apology, every moment of forgiveness, and every selfless gesture plants a new seed in the garden of your relationship. Over time, these seeds grow into trust, respect, and a love that becomes stronger with every challenge it overcomes. Yogananda often encouraged people to first cultivate peace within themselves because a peaceful heart naturally creates peaceful relationships. When your own mind becomes calmer, your words become gentler, your reactions become wiser, and your presence becomes a source of comfort instead of conflict. This inner transformation slowly changes the atmosphere of your home. Arguments lose their intensity, misunderstandings are resolved with greater compassion, and love begins to flow more freely. Marriage is not about finding a perfect partner, it is about becoming a better partner yourself. When both husband and wife commit to growing spiritually, serving each other with humility, and placing love above pride, their relationship becomes more than a human bond. It becomes a sacred practice, a daily meditation in compassion, and a beautiful path that leads both souls closer to inner peace and to the divine. Spiritual wisdom becomes truly meaningful only when it is practiced in everyday life. Understanding the deeper purpose of marriage is important, but lasting transformation happens through small, consistent actions repeated with sincerity. Paramahansa Yogananda often emphasized that spiritual growth is not found only in meditation halls or places of worship. It is cultivated in the ordinary moments of daily living, especially in the way we treat those closest to us. If you wish to bring more peace, love, and harmony into your marriage, begin with simple practices that nourish both the heart and the soul. Start by spending a few quiet minutes together in silence each day. Whether you meditate, pray, or simply sit peacefully, these moments allow both minds to slow down and reconnect with a deeper sense of unity. Next, make gratitude a daily habit. Before the day ends, express at least one sincere appreciation for your partner. It may be something as simple as thanking her for her kindness, her patience, or the little things she does that often go unnoticed. Words of genuine appreciation have the power to soften hearts and strengthen emotional bonds. Another powerful practice is forgiveness. No relationship is free from misunderstandings, but carrying resentment from one day to the next only creates greater distance. Before you sleep, quietly release the day's disappointments and choose peace over pride. Equally important is the spirit of selfless service. Look for small opportunities to help without expecting recognition or reward. A thoughtful gesture, a listening ear, or an act of kindness performed with love carries more spiritual value than grand displays of affection. Finally, make a conscious effort to see your spouse as a soul rather than simply a personality. Beyond everyday roles and responsibilities lives a divine being with hopes, fears, dreams, and a unique spiritual journey. When you begin to look at your wife with this sacred perspective, your words become gentler, your actions become more compassionate, and your relationship gradually transforms into a source of healing, wisdom, and lasting spiritual growth. One question that naturally arises after understanding the spiritual meaning of relationships is this: can karma truly change? If our present circumstances are influenced by past actions, are we destined to repeat the same patterns forever? Paramahansa Yogananda offered a deeply hopeful answer. He taught that while our past may shape the conditions we face today, it does not have the power to imprison our future. Every new moment gives us the opportunity to choose differently, think differently, and love differently. Karma is not a permanent sentence written in stone. It is more like a seed that continues to grow according to how we nurture it. When we respond to anger with patience, replace criticism with understanding, or choose forgiveness instead of resentment, we begin planting new seeds that eventually produce a different harvest. This is why every decision you make within your marriage matters. A sincere apology can heal wounds that have existed for years. A kind word spoken at the right moment can restore hope to a discouraged heart. A simple act of compassion can begin breaking cycles of misunderstanding that may have continued for generations. Transformation rarely happens through one dramatic event. Instead, it unfolds quietly through countless small choices made with awareness and love. As these choices accumulate, they reshape not only your relationship but also your own character. You become calmer in difficult situations, more patient during disagreements, and more grateful for the blessings already present in your life. In this way, your marriage becomes a powerful path of spiritual evolution rather than merely a partnership for worldly success. Regardless of what your relationship looks like today, there is always room for healing, growth, and renewal. Every sunrise offers a fresh opportunity to begin again. Every conversation can become more compassionate than the last. Every act of love weakens old patterns and strengthens new ones. When both partners are willing to grow in wisdom, humility, and unconditional love, they do far more than improve their marriage. They transform the direction of their souls. And perhaps that is the greatest purpose of karma, not to remind us of who we once were, but to inspire us to become who we are truly meant to be. As we come to the end of this journey, take a quiet moment to reflect on everything we have explored today. Perhaps you will begin to see your marriage through a new spiritual lens, not simply as a relationship between two people, but as a sacred opportunity for two souls to grow together. Every act of kindness, every moment of patience, every sincere apology, and every expression of love has the power to transform not only your relationship but also your own heart. Remember, lasting change does not happen overnight. It begins with one small step, one conscious choice, and one loving action repeated day after day. If today's message touched your heart, I invite you to put these teachings into practice and observe how your life gradually begins to change from within. Now I'd love to hear from you. What is the most meaningful lesson you learned from this video? Do you believe that our closest relationships are meant to help our souls grow? Share your thoughts, experiences, or insights in the comments below. Your story may inspire someone else who is silently going through a similar journey. If you found value in this video, please take a moment to like it, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss our upcoming spiritual teachings inspired by the timeless wisdom of Paramahansa Yogananda. And one more thing, I truly want this channel to grow with your support and your ideas. Tell me in the comments what spiritual topic you would like me to explore in the next video. Whether it's karma, meditation, Kriya Yoga, relationships, inner peace, spiritual awakening, life after death, or any other question that has been on your heart, let me know, and I may feature it in an upcoming video. Until we meet again, may your heart be filled with peace, your mind with wisdom, and your life with divine love. Thank you for watching. Take care of yourself and your loved ones. Jai Gurudev.